All right, everybody, welcome to this week's Next to Nature with Dr. John Long. And now this week we're talking about a tool that is so very useful. Does require some maintenance, no doubt, but it can also be dangerous. We'll talk about that. But the main thing, I think, is really maintaining it and knowing how to work it.
Exactly. It's good to know that your chain's good and sharp, and that's one of the things that it's kind of important to have is a good sharp chain to cut. You know, we're entering hopefully the cooler months, and we'll need some firewood, so we want to make sure it'll do the job you want it to, and that's properly filing the saw, making sure you're using good new gas in it, so you want to make sure it's fresh. I use non-ethanol in mine. It just seems to work a lot better.
Yeah.
Making sure you've got oil for the chain to be automatically oiled so it doesn't burn up on you. Making sure everything's tight and that your brakes all work and things like that, to where if the chain does come off, it'll stop it and keep your hand from getting cut off.
You always have to be careful. Now, to sharpen a chainsaw, exactly what tools do you need to do that?
So sharpening it's relatively easy if you take your time. People get in a big hurry and they really mess up their chain. So it takes a little time, but it's well worth it. This is just a regular saw file. I invested in getting a handle, which I suggest you get, because the end of it's pretty sharp, but it's cheap, so I use that. Sharpening a chainsaw is all about angle, and you want to make sure that when you put your file in that chain that you have the proper angle. They have guides that you can slide over this, which will give you the proper angle, and you can kind of stay on track. But if you practice it enough, you can kind of get a feel for it, and watching how you file it in conjunction to the angle of the tooth will make it a lot sharper. One of the things that people really don't think about is the drag that pulls the sawdust out of the way of the next tooth. And this is just this little part right here that's in front of the tooth. And basically that drag needs to be just slightly lower than the tooth. A lot of people don't know that, but it doesn't have to be much. And you can actually, if it gets to be too much of a problem and noticeable, you can take a flat file and file that off. But just remember, you need to make sure that or try to make sure that you make the same strokes on each tooth. That way you don't get one tooth sharper than the other, and then the next thing you know, you're cutting like this because one tooth's doing about more than the other one.
Okay.
So that's just some things that as far as filing the saw, you'll make sure you have a good bar wrench. You can take out a spark plug with this as well. But basically this allows you to, if you have a loose chain, which if it starts to get where it's hanging down, you better tighten it up, because it'll jump the bar. One thing I did fail to mention on the sharpening the saw is there's an index tooth here that you have to sharpen both sides. So there's a tooth here, a tooth there, and you want to make sure that index is on the same. I mean, that'll help you know when you get to the end of the chain or not. So, but yeah, that's just.
Well, it's all some good information that you may or may not need. It just definitely means some work's ahead of you.
Safety.
Yes,
Make sure you
absolutely.
get you some good chaps, because you might get cut, but you won't get cut as bad as if you didn't have them. So,
okay. All right. Good information there. All right. Thanks, Dr. Long. Thank you for joining us this week on Next.